All right, what's going on, everybody? Just thought I would show you my most recent project here. Got the 2019 Ram 1500, and so far it's been a pretty good truck outside of a few recall issues. But one of the things that I didn't have on the truck that I wish I would have had was bed lighting. So you've probably seen the video before where I put the bed rug and the utility rails in there, but I don't have any lights. So right there where that cargo bar is, that is where the factory location for the lights are. And there's holes there. My truck is a Bighorn model, so it didn't come pre-wired for those. I actually bought the Mopar bed lights and I was going to install those, but I got a pretty good deal on the bed lights. They were about $100, but then the dealership has to flash it for it to come on with your key fob or when the door opens, and that was going to be another couple $100. So I didn't really want to have $300 in a set of lights. So what I've been doing today is getting some power back here to the back. And so basically I've got, the brown is the negative, but I've got those wires coming up at the back of the bed rug. And you see this little plug down here. There's a little plastic plug, and that's what I took out. And let's see if we can get down in here. And so that plug just comes out, and then the wires running underneath the frame along with the existing wire, and then I have it coming up right there and just have that hooked in here. And so I'm deciding on whether I'm going to put a fuse on that or not. I'm going to put a switch on it, and I'm only going to have it on when I'm in the bed, so I don't really see the need for a fuse, but I may just to be on the safe side. These lights aren't going to pull any power. But here's what I ended up going with. This was a $15 set of lights I got off Amazon. Yes, they're made in China, but they're square. And I've actually had these on a previous truck, and so I thought I would get these again just for the price mainly. And they're really bright. So gonna install these. They come with a switch for each side. I'm not gonna wire them up like that. I'm gonna wire them into the same switch, and I'm not gonna use these switches because I don't like the way they look. So, all right, just so you can see what these things look like, I plugged them into just this battery I have here, but they're pretty bright, especially with a tonneau cover on the back. These will light it up pretty good. So we'll get these installed on the truck and show you how they turned out. All right, so got the install done. It actually went pretty smoothly. What I did, I put the wires and the LED pods underneath the rails of the tonneau cover. I did that for a couple of reasons. One is the tonneau cover is going to be on here all the time. I'm not going to take it off, at least the rails. I can take the actual canopy part on and off, but the rails aren't going to come off. So that provided a good mounting point to put those. And also, if I would have put them up under the rails of the truck, it would have been blocked out by the tonneau cover rails because they hang down lower. So I ended up doing that, connected the wires. Luckily, I have the bed rug, and so you can hide wires behind the bed rug, and so that's exactly what I did. And so if you'll see there at the top coming out, there is a wire loom. So the wire loom runs behind the utility rails, and you see my fancy little zip tie here. And the reason I did that was, one, for me, most of the time this is going to be covered, and so the zip tie doesn't bother me right now. But this is not a long-term solution, but what it did today is it saved me from having to drill to mount the switch. And the reason I didn't is because I pre-ran some wires today to hook up my military fridge in the bed of the truck, and so I'm going to put that on a different switch with a fuse and things like that. So I'm not quite done. So when I do the mounting of the switches, I'm going to do both those at the same time. But for now, it's just right behind here. Works great. So I have the lights on in the shop already, but you can see those are fairly bright. And then when you roll the tonneau cover down, probably be a lot brighter. So it took me a little while as far as the wiring goes without the bed rug, and I have wired these without the bed rug before, but I did it a different way. This time I went through the bulkhead of the bed and under. The last time I did that with my Ram 2500, I ran the wires underneath the bed and then drilled a hole right about here, came up, and then I did the same thing on the other side, but then connected them, came up here, and drilled a switch or a hole for a switch there. So with the bed rug, it allowed me to hide some wires, so it saved me a little bit of time and trouble. But for $15, hey, if they don't work for very long, I don't have a lot of money invested in them. All right, so here's what the lights look like at night with the tonneau cover rolled up. So very good coverage in there, very bright light. So I'll put a link in the description below to the lights I got if you want to give them a try. Like I said, for 15 bucks, hard to beat. So hope that helps anybody looking to add some lights to your Ram if you didn't have them like I did. And I'll report back when I find a better mounting solution for the switch.